What is going on, guys? Stardust-One-World from Stardust-Reviews here, back with another top list videos, and as today I'm here to suggest my top 10 best moments from Life is Strange. Like, these are the moments from this game series, not just from the first one, but even from Storm and even Dawson and Captain Spirit. These are the moments from those games that I remember the most, that I was intriguing the most, that were interesting the most, that really grabbed me the most, and the moments that I personally remember the most from Life is Strange. This honestly had a lot of great to amazing moments, so making this was honestly kind of difficult, honestly, but I didn't manage to bring up decisions that honestly affected me the most while playing. And of course, if I'm talking about major moments, there will be spoilers in this video, so hope you'll enjoy. So, enough beer on the bush, let's get started with the list. Kicking off the list at number 10, the Jefferson discovery from episode 4. This is a moment that one of the main moments on this list that truly surprised me, in the moments I did not see coming. We found that Jefferson, the teacher, that you think is just a nice and sweet and cool guy, is actually a psychopath. Sure, it might sense to kind of sound a little off with him, but you think he was just a very normal and sweet teacher, a very normal person. But again, in reality, he ends up being a psychopath. Yeah, especially in the end episode 4 when he ends up killing Chloe. And that moment I thought actually it was Nathan that she did that. But when I told him, I was like, wait, is that Mr. Jefferson? Oh my god. God, just the sheer amount of shock and surprise of that he's actually a psychopath, that he actually did that. It's definitely why his mom's on this list. Coming up now, we got one of the more decision choice ones on this list, and that is the decision of whether or not I should side with Chloe and David from episode 3. And again, this is one of the few major decisions they made that aren't going to be on this list. Because there are some major decisions and some interesting decisions that you have to make throughout the entirety of Life is Strange. And this is definitely a really major one, actually. It can happen around episode 3 when you're trying to look up some stuff on David and find she has photo of Kimo, she mentioned Amber, then she tells Chloe about it, and Chloe ends up hacking David's like tell about what's happened, then you make a decision when then she's like with Chloe and pretty much attack David about it, then Joyce will end up kicking him out. Or you can side with David because maybe he might be doing something right. But then Chloe might not actually like you about that. Might actually not be happy with that. Yeah, either way, the decision does have a major impact on the game. And you really wonder what side you actually should be on in Chloe or even David. Because even though David's kind of questionable, he kind of sense that he kind of sense they might be trying to do the right thing at least. So, just what decision you should make is really enough to put this moment on the list. And number 8, we got the time loop from episode 5. And this basically what happened after you try to convince Chloe not to go, which I'll actually get into that a little later. And then you end up back in the store, you'll have to be with Chloe, then you end up feeding again, then you end up with this weird time loop type of thing. And then you're back in checking class, and everything's acting weird, and then you end up playing for a couple characters for a brief period, and you're talking to 2 certain characters. And the difference is kind of crazy, odd, and weird of how it was going. And then there was this quick stealth thing you had to do and avoid these some people, or maybe Mr. Jefferson, and David. Then you end up talking to another Max, who kind of tells you something about the decisions that you made throughout the game and how you've been acting and you actually were doing the right thing. Like that one was honestly kind of tense. It's like kind of man. And just it was kind of odd and weird, but it was odd and weird in all the best ways. And that definitely is enough to put this moment on this list, put the whole time loop thing on this list. Just how odd and weird, but at the time intriguing it was. And number 7, we got the moment where Max basically tries to convince Chloe not to go and try to kill Nathan and all that, and around episode 5. Now, this kind of ties into the decision discovery thing I talked about a little later, as those later as that you end up going to Duncan, then Chloe ends up being killed by Jefferson, and then after a long craziness that happen, when you do try to escape from Jefferson, and David ends up saving you. You also make the big decision when I should tell him about what the truth about Chloe's death or not. And then you end up trying to find Warren and Tornado, because he actually took a photo before around then, so that's what actually is helpful. So you try to find Warren and using the picture, and then you being out with Chloe, then you basically trying to convince her. Now, part of the reason why this moment's on this list, the thing is because the reaction and the emotions that you do feel from this moment, you're trying to tell Chloe about it, and also reflect on the decisions that you made throughout the game, and Chloe's reactions to find out what happened, especially find out about the William thing. Like, that was kind of like, man. And it kind of reflects on the decisions, and like with Time Loop, it's kind of reflect on the decisions that you actually made throughout the game, and it's definitely interesting on there, and it really shows the greatness of the friendship that Chloe and Max have developed throughout the game. And number 6, we got the only moments from before the storm to make this list, and that is what. And this kind of, it's not just one moment, and that's basically the scenes where Chloe's managing that William's still alive. For some points of this game, Chloe does have these moments where she's still hanging with William and still be around him and all that, and he's basically imagining he's kind of still alive and trying to talk to him. He's kind of, say, haunted by him. And like I mentioned in my review before the storm, these moments are often some of my favorite moments from the entire game. Because it really shows how much William's death really has affected Chloe. But it really shows a lot more depth to William's character. But it really also shows a lot of depth to Chloe's character as well. And they would say in this moment that they had and they shared. It's honestly very sweet and even kind of emotional at times. And you really do feel for Chloe. Well, because you showed that William's death really has affected her. And there's really putting new emphasis on how her death really has affected her in the original game. Okay, we're doing like 3 or 4 scenes in this game, so I couldn't make which exact scene, honestly. But those scenes are definitely some of the best moments in the entire game on for the story. Moments that really intrigued me and really one of the most emotional part of the entire game. And there we get top 5. At number 5, we got the next decision choice to make this list, and that is the decision on whether or not to kill Chloe in episode 4. Now, this was definitely a hard one. Even though you know that you could end up going back in time and fix everything, the decision was still heartbreaking nonetheless. Especially with after what happened next, which I will talk about later. But that decision is still pretty heartbreaking because you tell Chloe's been suffering, and you tell, and you really do feel what Max is going through and thinking about causing this reality and all that. You can tell you don't know how she really is feeling or what's going on. Like, it's really fun, and again, it's also have to have a new layer and dimensions to Chloe's character, and also the relationship that Chloe and Max have shared. And seeing her actions, seeing her suffering really is very heartbreaking. The fact that you have to choose whether or not you should kill her or not, at least in this reality, it's still heartbreaking. And when you do it or not, it's still heartbreaking what happens. What happens, and again, even though you think go back to reality, kind of lessens the impact. I don't know why, but this moment really gets me every time I see it. Probably because you really learn them, because you really do like and interested in a lot of Chloe's characters, so seeing a like this really is an intriguing aspect, and again, it adds a lot of dimensions to her as a character and to the relationship between Chloe and Max. That's the whitest moments on this list. And then before we got a moment from episode 4, finding Rachel buried and Chloe's reaction to it. This was definitely one of the big heartbreaking moments in this game. As throughout the game, you do find out stuff about Rachel and that she ended up disappearing. And you find out that she and Chloe were just great friends, and everything was, they were just really close, and they were actually about to leave back well. But then she ended up disappearing out of nowhere. Now, when you actually, I'm curious on what actually happened to Rachel Amber, and the more you go into the game, the more information you find out, especially because we found that Rachel and Frank kind of banging and all that stuff, and Frank also wants to find her as well. Then you have to find this talk with Frank, and then you end up going to this bar where they're trying to find some information on Rachel, and then you found these photos of Rachel who appears to be dead, and then you end up going back to the junkyard, and then you're trying to dig up and you see Rachel's dead body. We don't actually see her dead body, but kind of implies that they do see her dead body, and Chloe's reaction to it pretty much says it all. Her reaction pretty much says how a lot of people were feeling. Like, it was truly emotional because, I mean, especially if you put full in the store, I mean, you actually learn something about the relationship. That kind of makes it even more heartbreaking. You know, the relation they had ended up not, like, ended up kind of end like that. And the reaction about seeing Rachel dead, it's been, her reaction alone is why this moment is on this list. At number 3, we got Kate's suicide scene from episode 2. This is a really moment that not only surprised the hell out of me, but even scared me a little bit. That just proves how much you've been paying attention to this game and to this student character. It's Kate makes you like a typical innocent Christian girl like you meet, but the episode 2, you see her develop a lot more, you do see a little more stuff about her and all that. And you do have these decisions where there's a lot of Kate throughout the game, like when I should defend her from David, when I should tell her to call cops or just stay low, or most importantly, whether or not to actually call her, whether or not to actually answer her call. Because that's definitely an important thing. And then you get this nice day, and then this guy's like, yo, some crazy shit's going on the future door, check it. And everybody's leaving, and then you see Kate, and she finds them, and I was like, I can't let her do this. And then she has to stop her time for it, and then she walks up to the roof. Then even before she commits suicide, then because there's some time she can't rewind. Come on, now it's up to you to try to stop Kate from committing suicide. And you have to make the right sayings and the right choices to try to stop Kate from committing suicide. And it's kind of like a lot of decisions that you actually made throughout the game. The game or something involving Kate. You really gotta make sure you make the right choices. The choices are nice. Kate was just commit suicide. So I don't think that I actually did want to commit suicide, and the fact that you can't rewind was honestly kind of scary, honestly. Honestly, because I couldn't just if I made a decision wrong. This is a decision that could actually have an impact on the game. And lucky in the first time I was actually able to figure out the right thing to say, and I was able to say the right choices and all that. But the fact that I couldn't rewind and I tried to stop someone committing suicide or what was being said and all that is truly not only heartbreaking, but truly, kind of scary, honestly. And number 2, we basically got the ending of episode 3 where we see William alive, but Chloe's now in an accident. Again, and first I was like, wait, what? And a bit before this, Chloe's basically doing a lot, especially after finding out about Rachel and Frank banging each other, and she thinks that no one's here for her, and everybody just backs down here, yada yada yada, which is actually really one of the more later aspects of the game. And then you find that you can rewind time through photos. You gotta go back back in the day before William died, and you had to try and stop him from going. going, and then getting done back to an alternate reality where things seem a lot different. Not different than in the Chloe's house where we do see William. Again, I kind of expect that William is alive, but seeing Chloe in an accident in a wheelchair, I remember my jaw dropped. Like my jaw dropped when I found like, oh my god, Chloe's now. Did she get into an accident or something? What? Wait, what? And like I mentioned in my making video, but I was going to finish episode 3 and then I was not going to play episode till the next day. When this moment happened, I immediately went to episode 4. I really wanted to know what's going to happen next. That is true. That is such true amazement when you're going to play a certain point and then they pull one creative thing and then you end up wanting to play the rest. So that's another guy I give this game major props on. So I wanted to actually put it at the top of the list, but there was one moment on the list that honestly impacted me. I think was more impactful, at least to me. But before we get to the actual number 1 best moment of Life is Strange, in my opinion at least, let's get into some honorable mentions. There are actually a lot of moments in this game that actually could have made the list. That's how amazing some of these moments were. So, yeah, there are a lot of moments that I really want to put on the list, but unfortunately couldn't. So we're going to stand, but here are my honorable mentions, and they are the first instance of One Time for episode 1, the pool scene from episode 3, decision went out to kiss Chloe or not for episode 3, I have hard cut from this list, seeing Kay in the hospital from episode 4, this depends on when I actually save Kay or not, rewinding time to impress Chloe from episode 2, saving Chloe from the train tracks in episode 2, decision one not to tell David the truth about Chloe's death in episode 5, decision one not to give Damon the money or save Monkey from episode 2 and Before the Storm, finding out that Rachel suffered Frank and Chloe's reaction from episode 3, the first instant jumping the photos from episode 3, one being up Nathan from episode 4, Frank's first appearance in episode 2, talking Frankie having episode 4, Chloe smashing stuff in the yard from episode 1 Before the Storm, decision of whether not to tell Rachel everything from Eddie in episode 3 from Before the Storm, finding evil beings, and the final scene with Chris and his dad from the Awesome Avengers Captain Spirit, and lastly, finding out about Rachel's real Sarah from episode 2 and 3. Great and amazing moments, but unfortunately they really couldn't make the list. And now we get to my number 1 favorite moment from Life is Strange. The moment that impacted me the most, the moment I remember the most, the moment that I was, oh my god, the most, and the moment that honestly shook me the most. And that is the final decision that you make at the end of the original Life is Strange. Just this moment, man. Now this decision actually has been polarized on a lot of people with this game. Some thought it was actually impactful and just out of nowhere way, but it still actually works and still has a lot of impact and emotion. A lot of people thought it just like your decisions didn't really matter, or less decisions didn't really matter, and just felt like, really? It wasn't that hard, honestly. And you tell this because my number 1, you tell you the format of the ladder. But I do think decisions do still end up mattering in the end. And it's kind of difficult because Chloe's the character that you have followed throughout the game. Chloe's the character that you honestly loved and cared about throughout the game. And again, like I mentioned before, Chloe is my favorite character from Life is Strange, so I think I might have to sacrifice her and also Ikea Bay as well. Is pretty emotional and powerful. In my opinion, is basically where you sacrifice Chloe or Ikea Bay. I don't know if the decision was honestly kind of easy to start with Chloe and stuff with Ikea Bay, but it was still pretty tough nonetheless. And that's basically what happens. After the time loop thing, you find that you have caused the storm that For all the things that you went back in time, you had to causing a huge ripple, and it ended up causing until it's kind of a big effect on it. And then Chloe ends up realizing that, and then you had and having the photo that they used when you first saved Chloe. When you first saved Chloe in the very beginning. Yeah, and then you realize you have to go back in time, and go back to that moment and let Chloe die, because that moment pretty much started the whole thing. And Max, of course, Max was like, no, I can't do it, and the other musician went outside for okay, and whatever decision made to me, this is one of the first few moments of the game that actually did make me cry. Like I mentioned in my review, this is one of the three games I played that honestly made me cry on The Last of Us and Uncharted 4 to extent. This is not game that honestly made me cry. Definitely that mostly made me cry was the ending. And the way that you sacrifice Chloe or also sacrifice Arcadia Bay is still heartbreaking. And then going with Chloe. And when I went in Chloe, it was still heartbreaking to see her die, and the music that played throughout that scene is really adds to the emotion of that scene. Every time I see it, Bay is honestly equally as heartbreaking, especially when we see the straight town and you see Matt and Chloe leaving. Like, that is still heartbreaking. Heartbreaking in that. I know a lot of people are polarized by this decision. Not like this part by episode called polarized. But for me, it had the most impact, the most emotion, and the most greatness. You're saying that this game had a lot of great and amazing moments. That really is saying a lot. And all those reasons why the final decision that you make is probably my favorite moment. It is my favorite moment from Life is Strange. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my top 10 best moments from Life is Strange. Now, of course, if you have played any of these games, let me know what your favorite moments come down below. Let me know any moments that you really liked and appreciate from Life is Strange, and moments that you remember and like the most from these games. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate. If you haven't, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites. All is down below. I am Stardust-One-World from Stardust-One-Worldreviews. I will see you next time, and stay cool up out there. Peace.